Welcome to the Oneness Wellness Lifestyle Show. I'm your host, Shifa, the natural healing voice of the soul of Mother Earth. I'm so excited to be here with you on today. It is my pleasure to be able to enlighten you. And yes, I'm choosing that word deliberately. So I encourage you to go get your blue pen and your white paper and get ready to take copious notes, because you are about to get that natural healing information you've been seeking. Today, we are dealing with the family segment, the healthy family. And this enlightenment that I'm talking to you about has to do with parent alienation awareness. Parent alienation awareness. You may have never heard of that. And so, you know, I'm always bringing it to you. And I also would like to share with you that we are on a Facebook Live. So let me just give our Facebook audience some love. Hey, y'all. Right? And so I'm here with my very special guest, Linnell Davis.
You go ahead.
Linnell Davis, and we're going to talk to you about some very exciting things with regard to enlightening your awareness of the things that are happening right under our noses that we are in desperate need of paying attention to, because it affects you and your family at some level. I guarantee you. All right. So this segment is talking about erasing families. This show, Erasing Families documentary. If you haven't heard of it, you've heard of it now. Erasing Families documentary. My friend here, Linnell Davis, is Dads Against Prison and is bringing some clarity to our minds as it relates to what's really going on. Before we jump into the conversation, we're going to take a brief look at a clip from the documentary Erasing Families. Stay tuned.
It was such like a tug of war with whose side are you going to choose? I realized like it was just tearing me apart.
It was always, you're on my side or you're dead to me.
The first time my dad saw me, I was in my grandma's arms in a courtroom.
It really felt like she didn't want anything to do with me.
It's hard when you have to stop and think that your child wants nothing to do with you because of what they've been taught.
One parent gets to be a parent and the other gets to be, at best, a visitor, and at worst, completely erased.
And a lot of it has to do with our judicial system.
What I remember about being in court was having to lie to the judge. Sorry.
It destroys lives, it bankrupts people every day, it tears children from their homes, and just so happens to be a $50 billion a year industry.
If you don't pay your child support, you're gonna go to jail.
Walter Scott decided to bolt from his car. Court documents show he owed more than $18,000 in child support payments.
These fathers are not deadbeat, they're dead broke.
Nothing I said mattered. None of the evidence I brought forward mattered. The judge wouldn't even look at it.
He's nothing like I was told he was.
If there's 22 million adults dealing with this, that's over 22 million children. And the mental health consequences are severe and long-lasting.
It's heartbreaking to me to see how many of you are dealing with this.
My dad was erased from my life.
It's happening all over the world. This isn't a father's rights issue. It's not a mother's rights issue. It's a human right issue.
My daughter here and I have been alienated from each other for the majority of her life. She called me and said, "Dad, it's time to move home," and she came home.
If the court worked in a way where there was 50-50 custody, I'd be happier. I wouldn't feel a void because I've never known a life where one parent wasn't missing.
A new bill would make default custody 50-50.
How come we don't have shared parenting in the law? It's called special interests.
We need more clarity in law to support what is best for children, shared parenting, and this helps move in that direction.
I want to show people that it can have a happy ending.
In about 10 minutes, we're going to leave for the courthouse so I can legally readopt my daughter.
So when I first saw this clip, I was enlightened, because to tell you the truth, nobody ever said anything to me about it, ever. I didn't even know it was a thing. You know, sometimes we don't know it's a thing, and it's such a devastating. And I'm choosing that word because I want you to know how serious a topic this really is. The clip shared some of that with you. And so now what I want you to do is pay close attention, and take notes as we engage in this conversation. So, Linnell, tell us, first of all, give us a little bit of background about why you're bringing this to the forefront.
I guess just like everybody, an issue is never an issue until it's your issue. And so that's how I was actually brought into my own shared parenting issue. I'd seen it in my community often, but never knew the dynamics until I became one of those people in front of a judge.
Okay, so this alienation, when you say you saw it, so I want to give it a definition. It's this alienation of what happened in your own life when you were separated from the family, right? And y'all pay attention to this, okay? Because when the man is removed from the family, the whole foundation is removed, all right? So, and if you don't believe that, then you're not paying attention to what's really going on in the world right now. And we're going to get to the crux of that. So if I'm hearing you right, something occurred in your life, right, the separation, and caused you not to be in the life of your girls, 17 and 13, right? Beautiful girls. And now that is your issue. It is the issue. And I have part of that issue too, and we're going to share some of that with you. So a lot of you might think it's about child support. I want to just get that right out. I want to just wipe that away right now. It's not about child support. We want you to know what it's really all about at the deepest level, because you know when you can't get to the healing until you get to the root of the matter. You got to get to the root of the matter, and me and Linnell, we're going to get to the root of the matter right now.
It's going to hurt.
Okay, but he gonna smile
all the way through.
Okay, all right. So, what? So tell me about it. Tell me about it.
Like I shared, I have two beautiful girls, and when the relationship between their mother and I became where we couldn't coexist in the same place, a decision had to be made in the best interest of the girls. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you see us try to struggle with, is it best to leave or stay? And sometimes staying is not the best option because it creates tension, and that's when you see the violence rates, the domestic violence, the neglect and abuse. So for me personally, having lived this as a child, I knew that there was no way I was going to do that to my daughter. So I decided to leave the home that we shared in their best interest long term.
Okay.
But it was at that juncture that I was told by a judge that my parental rights were being taken. And so it was actually the judge that I went before, you know, because you always hear them tell men, keep your receipts. So when you go to court, you can prove to the judge that you've been doing X, Y, and Z. Well, that's a bunch of crock. They could care less about your receipts. The only receipt the court system is concerned with is the one that they're giving you saying that you paid them.
Saying that you paid them.
They can care less about your children.
I got that. Okay,
right.
Yes, all right.
They want to make sure that you're coming down to the court system, paying your money to us. We're going to take out 5 or 7% and mail your children a check on your behalf.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm standing in this courtroom with these receipts, and I can recall pulling out one receipt that was for $1,000 over, you know, course of 2 years. At this point, we're at the 2-year early mark.
Okay.
And so I'm trying to explain to the judge, well, I'm not one of these black men that you depicted that's having children, being irresponsible, not wanting to man up, whatever the terms that they have given us, that's not me. So I have your receipts the way that what we were taught to. But when that judge said to me, so, something went to my soul.
He said, so.
She said, so. She said, so.
Like, so what?
So what? So what? You've been sending money to your children to do the right thing. But you've not been doing the right thing because the right thing is to include us in your financial payments.
So what it means, like send it to them?
Right.
Okay, so you got to pay. You have to pay it to them and then let them pay it. You can't. The father just can't go take care of.
You can't parent.
You can't parent. You can't parent.
Watch out there now.
Wow, you can't parent. Okay, so here's a question that came to my mind. You said that the judge took away your parental rights.
Rights.
Why?
Well, under the law in North Carolina and across most of the states, it's what the judge uses as assumed parenting. It's not even any given facts, any causes. It's what the courts have allowed the judge to use their best guess discretion. And
as to who the best parent is going to be.
That's why I use guess discretion.
Okay.
Because no one is coming to your house to ask, have there been any...
No assessments.
No assessments.
No assessments.
No assessment. The judge is getting your file, case number 100-1, me versus you, and you get you.
So you lose your parental rights at the guess discretion of the judge.
Right.
Who's deciding without an assessment of who the best parent would be for the children.
Your children.
And for your children,
exactly.
For my children,
That's right.
for our children.
For our children.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
For our children.
That's right.
So there's already, it's already unraveled.
Right.
Right? There's a problem there. There's a big problem there. So then what happened next? Then what?
Okay, so for me now, I'm a lot different from most men. So once I discovered the devil I was truly dealing with, I went to the law books. I wanted to learn as much as I possibly could on my own versus having an attorney try to dictate the law to me.
Who's not on your side.
No, see, and that's what we think is the case, that the attorney is actually on your side. The attorneys have no side other than the one that's green.
Okay.
And that's all attorneys. That's all attorneys, family court, federal court, district court. I've been doing this for 30 years.
Okay. Doing what? What you been doing for 30 years?
Bail bonding, law enforcement. I've been around these lawyers when they was in first entry, beginning their law firms, when they was just clerks.
Okay.
I saw a lot of these attorneys, especially the black ones, that go to these HBCUs. When I get my law degree, I'm gonna come to my community and I'm gonna do great things. Well, you're part of the problem. You taking money from the system from people that cannot afford your services. And then you go out and tout how great they are.
Okay. Okay. So the lawyer is not on your side. The judge has deemed to take away your parental rights. They're not interested in your receipts. They just want you to understand that you are not the parent. You have no custody rights at all.
Right.
So in your case, are you able to see your girls?
Yes. Okay. So again, me being
who you are.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay. So I do use because and based on the circumstances I'm dealing with, and not to go into all of those.
Sure. Sure.
So it's not always easy for me to call up their mother, tell her I'm coming to see the girls. So I have to use other methods. And so there may be times when they get home from school, dad's already where you should be.
Okay. So we're going to leave it right there, and we're going to come back, because most men are not you.
No,
and are not seeing their children. So when we come back, we're going to take you deeper into this, and we thank you for watching. Stay tuned.